Greetings, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. So, this message that I come to you today to speak on is very heavy. It's heavy. I want you to feel. I want you to think critically, even as I speak, even as I deliver this message. And walk away from hearing the message and really sit with what's coming through. The message today is on persecution. No matter who you are, no matter where you are in this world, in your journey here in the earthly realm. As a human being, in some form or fashion, you have been persecuted and or you have been the persecutor. And that's going to be very hard for some of you to hear and to receive. Know that persecution can happen consciously or unconsciously just in your everyday walk, your actions, your speech, and your behavior. I want to look at right now really quickly the definition of persecution so we are all in agreement with what that means. And I've gone to the Oxford Dictionary as well as the Cambridge Dictionary, and I'm going to bring those definitions through to you now. Okay? Persecution is hostility, ill treatment, especially on the basis of ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, or political beliefs. It is the persistent annoyance or harassment. It is unfair or cruel treatment over a long period of time because of race, religion, or political beliefs. And if you just sit with this and even allow yourself to think deeper, what's highlighted here in this definition is the fact that persecution is unfair or cruel treatment. It can be in a moment. It can be in an extended period of time. There are different ways and instances that it happens. But I say to you also, persecution can come through simply through conditioned behavior. And this is why I really want you to feel. I really want you to think critically. I really want you to sit with this message as you receive it and as you walk away from hearing it. So as human beings, and I said this in the beginning, we have been on the receiving end of persecution, and we have been the initiator of it. Why? Why is this a part of human behavior? Why? When you have received persecution, how did you feel? You felt hurt. You felt shamed. You felt outcast. And there are many more words and phrases that I could give here. Persecution does not feel good. So we ask, is it of God? It does not feel good. When you have been the persecutor, how did you feel? You felt big. You felt right. You felt in control. In control, right. And you essentially fueled your ego mind. But again, we ask, why is this a part of human behavior? Why? Here in this earthly realm, there are systems, there are rules, there are doctrines, and thus there are indoctrinations that happen. In some instances, you have been conditioned to respond in a certain manner. You have been conditioned to believe this thing. You have been indoctrinated. In this message, you are not being told, you are not being persecuted for your beliefs. But you are simply asked to think critically. When we persecute, we pass judgment on another. Just because someone is a different color does not mean I should treat them any differently. Just because someone is from another part of the world does not mean I should treat them any differently. Just because someone has been raised, taught, experienced different things does not mean I should treat them any differently. You are not to judge. You should not be talking about another behind their back. You should not exclude. These are forms of persecution. Take the time to listen, to understand, to receive thoughts, opinions, beliefs, ways of life that are different from your own. And there's this phrase, this quote, two things can be true, right? Two things can be true. Open up your mind to the belief that there is more. And perhaps I have just not yet experienced it. In this world now, we are essentially borderless. Borderless. You can travel to other countries now that years ago you could not. You can see other places. You can meet other people simply through the medium of the phone and the internet. We are borderless. And as you travel, as you meet others from different walks of life, your knowledge, your mind is enriched. You may have core values and beliefs that have guided you to where you are now in your walk. But there is always more to learn. Do not judge or strike down another simply because who they are. And I want to go back to the question of, why is this human behavior? Why? We highlighted the systems, the rules, the doctrines that you've learned, that you've internalized. And also that ego mind of always wanting and desiring to be right. Because if I'm not right, who am I? What am I? Another's truth may expose the gaps within your own. And so at the root, humans respond and act this way out of fear. Out of fear. I don't want to know. They're wrong. I'm going to believe they're a bad person. They're bad. They're a bad group of people. But I beg you to ask, is this of God? Is it? And we can feel that we're in the highest level in our actions and beliefs, in our walk. But you correct yourself in the question, is this of God? And persecution is not only overt, is not only open hostility and ill treatment. It is silent. And as we stated, sometimes unconscious behavior. We're doing things simply because it was learned behavior. We're responding in a way simply because this was what I was taught. What most of us have not been taught is to think critically, is to really feel what is of God. feel, have discernment. Feel. God has not left your side. God walks with you. As you are having these experiences on earth. And really sit with this message. Think about your walk thus far. Think about those times when you have been persecuted and or have been the persecutor. Why? Ask yourself, why did that happen? And furthermore, what has this life taught you thus far? Because there are lessons that you're receiving and that you are navigating each and every day. You know, these systems, these beliefs, these doctrines, they have shaped and changed the true essence of who we are. And I ask you, the next time you encounter difference in truth, difference in expression, difference in being, do not resist, do not judge, do not attack, do not silence another. Hear them. Be open. Be open to the difference. Observe. Really sit with it and observe. Don't be so quick to respond. You can receive the difference. You can receive the difference in what is spoken and in what one is being, without oppressing them, without judging them, without attacking them. without being in agreement. You love them irregardless of. No more persecution. No more. For persecution is not of God.